Thanks to the support as a channel member, Aaron Bick. Remember when I said this Champions League group, although looking hard, would hopefully be relatively straightforward? Well, fingers crossed we can win the Europa League this year. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 11 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Champions League game away against Ajax, a big, important Champions League game away against Ajax, and we're also away against some club called Peterborough in the Premier League. That sounds vaguely familiar. Since you were last with me, we have had a bit of a turnaround in form. Unfortunately, it didn't come early enough for us to beat Celtic in the Champions League. We lost 2-0 to them. We did then go on a lovely old winning run, beating West Ham, Newcastle, Southampton, Swansea, all in the Premier League, including putting 9 goals past Swansea, leaving us in prime form for this Ajax game. And we did beat Ajax 3-0 in the home tie for this group game as well. But because of those early defeats, or the early defeat against Celtic and the draw with Borussia Dortmund, we do find ourselves 3 games in, down in 3rd place in the group, knowing that we need to beat Ajax to get ourselves back up level on points again with a Celtic side who will remain ahead of us on head-to-head. So we need to beat Ajax, and then looking at our final 2 games, we've got to get a result against probably both Celtic and Dortmund in the final 2 matches. We've got both of them at home. I imagine Celtic at home will be tomorrow's episode and is likely to be must win. The league table looking much more attractive though, and we are now up into the Champions League qualification spots, in 4th place, 6 points behind Manchester United at the top of the league. Maybe this could be our year. Who knows? We'll find out a lot when we play against Peterborough in the next match. People have been asking to look at Posh's transfers from the summer just gone. How do I do that? There you go, transfer history. I mean, the headlines is they didn't really do much. They didn't really bring many players in. They finally sold Gaz Key. He went off to play in Scotland. But other than that, no major players moved on. Belotti left. Regier went to Leipzig, which is a bit of an odd one because I think Regier was a good signing, but because I never really had the chance to play him very much, he wasn't established. So I guess that's why he's been moved on. But Posh looking like they're reverting back in to be the kind of side you expect Posh to be. I mean, if they end up being a lower mid-table Premier League team for the rest of time, I imagine most Posh fans would take that. While we're looking back through the former clubs as well, people keep asking me to show them Kettering. Kettering have survived as a League 2 club. Did make it all the way up to League 1, but relegated immediately down again. Looked like they were going to fall out of the Football League at one point, but are now fairly established as a mid-table League 2 side. And there's quite a few of my players who are still there. Terrell Whitaker's still knocking around, naming the game channel member. Kevin Wilcox is club captain now with over 150 appearances for Kettering. We've got, who else did I sign in here? I think I also signed, when I looked before, there was more than just Whitaker. Aaron Skinner, Shay Charles, Marcus Eiffel. So there's quite a few of the players that I brought in that are still there, and they're comfortable in League 2. So Kevin Wilcox is probably happy. He's the captain, and I mean, he's the new Nathan Curry. We'll check in on him every now and again, but he's obviously, I would assume, never going to make it beyond League 2. But as a League 2 player, he looks very solid. To be fair, he's 22. He might even make it up to League 1 one day. Who knows? Cameron Jerome, currently the Kettering manager. But we're not worrying about Kettering today. We're worrying about Ajax. A win here, and we're back on course in the Champions League, albeit still with work to do. So this is the team that we're sending to the Netherlands to try and... I mean, this will knock them out. If they lose here, their Champions League is done for the year, as they've come up against a pretty tough group. We've got Dragowski in goal, a back four of Saka, Gabriel, Tamea and Remy, Martinez and Barrow in midfield, Magno, Pedri and Camara supporting João Pedro up front. Liam Delap still really struggling for form this year. He was the hero of last season. But in the 9-1 win over Swansea, he only got the 1 goal. He did come off the bench. He did grab a goal against Norwich. Maybe he's coming back into form. But as you can see, he's he kind of fell out of form, then fell out of favour, and is struggling a little bit to recapture the form of last season. But he'll get the opportunity to play himself into the side, as everybody does. But at the moment, João Pedro is the man in possession and the man in form. So there's no reason to drop him just because Delap was good last year. It's the fun of having the strength in depth that we've got. It means that we can, if Delap's not playing well, leave him out until he plays his way back into form again, knowing that if João Pedro were to pick up an injury or hit a bad run of form himself, we've got Liam Delap, who's capable of being a 25, 30 goal a season striker, ready and waiting to step in and take his spot. So it's certainly a nice situation to be in. That was less of a nice situation to be in, because that very nearly led to us conceding a goal almost immediately at the start of this game against an Ajax side who are yet to earn a point in this season's Champions League. And we really don't want to be the team that starts gifting them points to get them up and running. But it is an Ajax highlight again. Big goal kick forward. Saka once again showing that he's not a left back. And we're 1-0 down. I think the longer this goes on, the more obvious it becomes. We need to sign a real left back for this side. Kieran Tierney is old and past it. And Saka, as much as I hoped the Saka experiment would work, it hasn't. And we probably just need to get him into the mix as a rotation player in the front four and sign a real left back, ideally as soon as January if we can, because it is costing us a lot of goals. It might even be worth bringing Tierney back in just to play through until January for us, even though he's a bit old and a bit slow now and not really a Kev kind of player. I know there's been a few people in the comments suggesting we switch to like a 3 at the back, 5 at the back kind of system, with Remy being a very, very attacking fullback on the right, and Saka could then be the wing back on the left-hand side. I ain't doing a 3 at the back. I like fun attacking football, and I like to say stuff like that gets you lot going in the comments section. So now you can tell me all about how you can play 5 defenders and still be doing fun attacking football, and I'll tell you, you can't, because that's an extra defender, and I'd rather have an extra attacker. Saka now with the throw. If we can grab an equaliser before half-time, that would be delightful. But it's Ajax who've got the ball back off us again, and they are just knocking it around really rather comfortably, and we are going to need to do something different in the second half if we're going to find a way back into this game and save our Champions League campaign for the season. The heroics of last year really don't count for a lot if we make it back into the Champions League and then don't make it through the groups. Rui Camera, though, it's like he can hear me. He's grabbed his 14th goal of the season off of the right wing. What a signing he's turning out to be. I was asked on Twitch a couple of nights ago who's the best new gen that I've signed in FM21 so far. And I think if we're talking purely in terms of the quality of the player, Rui Camera has got to be that man. We've had some that we've really, really loved, but actual sheer ability and quality, I think Rui Camera is the best new gen we've come across in FM21 so far. So 1-1 at half-time, completely different story to what it would have been if we hadn't have grabbed that quite fortuitous goal just before half-time. And now hopefully we can build on that in the second half and go on and win this game. I mean, before all this group got up and running, before we went to Celtic and lost, we'd have probably looked at Ajax away and thought, yeah, if we pick up a draw there and beat them at home, we're all right. The plan would have been win all 3 home games, draw all 3 away games, and then you're through. That's generally how I look at a Champions League group. But having now lost the away game against Celtic, it means we've now got to go and win one of these away games. And looking at the league table, obviously we've already drawn against Dortmund and lost against Celtic. So we kind of have to win this one to get ourselves back on course. Saka now coming down the left-hand side. This is the advantage of playing him at left-back. You're going to get these attacking runs like that create the space for Magno, who's now crossed to camera, and his header is against the crossbar. And we are getting closer and closer to grabbing that next goal that we oh so desperately need. It's 1-1 between Dortmund and Celtic. I actually think that game happened earlier today. Because before the match, they were showing us 4 games played and we were showing us 3. So I think they've already drawn their game. So a win here, would a win here put us above Celtic? I need the numbers again. So Celtic, no, it wouldn't. It would put us, we'd still be below Celtic. I identified all that before the game. I remember now. Right, we're having to take off both wingers here. One's injured. One's shattered. So that is an opportunity. We need to pause the game. An opportunity for Liam Delap to come on and show us what he can do to help turn this game around. And we'll bring on Carlos Alberto on that side. João Pedro can drop back out to the left. I'm really tempted to bring Almada on as well and either bring him in there instead of Pedri or stick him out wide and go with Pedro and Delap up front. What I might do is just give it 10 minutes. We are going to go attacking. We are looking at getting Almada on as well, But for now, we will just go with those two changes and telling him to get a bit more attacking and see if Delap can start forcing his way back into this side. Saka with the throw doesn't beat the first defender, which is terrible, really. You got to be hitting that first defender, and now Ajax have got the opportunity for a counter-attack, although they're acting very slowly around it, and Tamaya just comes across and covers. Easy as you like. Very odd from Ajax there, and now it's us looking to build a counter-attack. 18 minutes of normal time left, and it's with Remy, who finds Barrow in a huge amount of space in central midfield with options all around him. He gives it to Pedri, who immediately gives the ball away, and Ajax once again lump it forward, and Tamaya again is there to cover. He's having a good game today. Saka on the left-hand side. Can he find a cross this time? Plays it back to Barrow, who once again has been left in space, and Pedri, with the shot from range, hits the outside of the post. We are getting closer and closer to the breakthrough. I'm just not sure if we're going to get it. It's a free kick now from Saka. Finds Carlos Alberto, and his header is just over as well. We are peppering the goal now in this second half. But the next highlight is an Ajax. It's an Ajax corner, and if they score here, I'm going to be grumpy. Carlos Alberto heads it clear, though, but only as far as an Ajax player, and the pressure continues, and Ajax have gone into the lead again. It's Ajax 2, Arsenal 1. This is huge for them and potentially disastrous for us. We need to make that change I was talking about before. Pedro is having a worse game than Pedri, so we are going to bring Almada on that left-hand side, but stick Pedri out there. Almada can play in behind Delap, and we'll go with that and hope that there's a goal in it for us. Even my mouse button spacebar mod thing isn't working now, and I'm having to click buttons on the screen like a caveman. It's all falling apart. I don't want to see your filthy highlight. We need a goal. Fire them up. Do a football, boys. Come on, for goodness sake. It's Ajax again with the ball, though, lumping it forward, and they're the first to every second ball. Tamaya still having a pretty good game, though, at the back there, although his rating of 6.9 suggests otherwise. Every time we see him, he's making a tackle. So he's busy, if not playing well. Almada with the cross. It's a beautiful ball to Pedri, who just let it run a little bit too long. And Alberto's trying to come in to convert the subsequent cross, but can't. And then what happened there? Martinez got... It was a offside, I think. Martinez kind of just kicked the ball out behind the goal. We are leaving ourselves with so much to do in this group. This is not a good result. What was the point of getting back into the Champions League if we're then just going to end up back in the Europa League again? I worried about it before the game. Now it seems even more relevant. We've got to beat Dortmund and Celtic and hope for other results to go our way. Hopefully we get something a little bit more satisfying against Posh. A couple of changes for the Posh game then. Gascon is available to come back into the defence, so does. And Quaresma was asking for more game time, so I promised he could have some, so he can come in as well. So 2 changes at centre-back. Other than that, the only other change is Magno is injured, so Delap does come back into the side up front with João Pedro moving back out onto the left-hand side. So big opportunity for Liam Delap today after his ropey run of form that he looks like he might be recovering from, to go out and grab some goals against a Posh defence that we know is definitely the strength of this Peterborough United side. Let's have a look at what on earth are they doing? A flat back 7. Have you ever seen such a thing? Coletti in goal, some nobody at left back, Parsons, Novak and Petrzilka all playing at centre back, with Williams as a full back as well, and then Ben Bassat and Douglas Luiz as holding midfielders in front of them. Some nobody and Shortire out wide, and then Kirstich up front. He is ruining that football club. I mean, it's rare to see something as pathetic as a flat back 7 at home. Imagine being a Peterborough United fan and having all the fun and attacking football that they experienced under me, only to then have a manager who puts out a flat back 5 with 2 holding midfielders in a home game. My word. Is this the new ground, or are we still out at Leicester? I think this is still out at Leicester because it's not got the corners. I think the new ground was still a year away. It'll be a lot of fun coming out and seeing the new ground when that's built, but no room for Ricky J. Jones even on the bench. Miliaccio, who is constantly coming up on my scouting reports and is considered the best player at the club, also only on the bench. Oh, 2 attacking. Is Gareth Southgate posh manager now? Have they sacked Koku and he's just gone, yeah, let's have a flat 5, couple of holding midfielders. Oh, he's got some attacking talent. Get him out. Get him out of there. Perfect. Gareth Southgate impression right there. Don't know it's exactly how the man talks, but it's certainly how the man thinks. They're going to prove me wrong here. No, they're not going to prove me wrong. I don't care. Even if we lose today, I still have the moral high ground. This is perverted football from Posh. 5 at the back with 2 holding midfielders and sitting back at home. I'm disgusted by it. And they're winning. I wouldn't be satisfied with this if I was sat in that stand. I would rather lose playing like this than win and have the manager believe that it's actually something that's worth continuing to do. Hideous. Right. Second half, we do need to get back into this game rather urgently. We're going to go attacking. I mean, the only problem is we know they're going to be incredibly difficult to break down because Petrozilka, Novak, Parsons are 3 very, very good defenders. So I guess if I'm trying to take away, remove playing nice football from the equation, remove having fun from the equation, if they are just looking to grind out results, they know they're not going to concede many goals doing this because they're going to be so difficult to break down. And with Kirstic up front and Shortire feeding him, I guess they are going to hit goals on the break. It must be so boring to watch. I just can't imagine doing it. Look how deep everybody is here. Camera's won the ball back there. Barrow to João Pedro. João Pedro trying to dance his way through, but there's so many defenders in his way. Barrow hits it and it goes wide. I'm tempted to stick Pedro up front as well. And maybe go with an extra striker, get Almada on. If they're going to play this defensively, let's throw more men forward, is my logic. Camera is shattered, so Alberto can come on for him. We're going to do this, and we could leave Pedri out there, actually. And João Pedro can be a complete forward on attack with Delap as an advanced forward on attack. And we'll do that for a little while. I'm tempted. I am seriously considering taking off a defender and sticking an attacking midfielder in. If only Remy could play centre-back as well, we could go to a 3 at the back, get Saka up. But we actually have to make a substitution and make it permanent. We'd have to bring Tomea on for Remy and stick Saka further forward. We'll give it 10 minutes before going that drastic. But if they're going to be this defensive, what's the point in us having 4 defenders when they've only got 1 attacking player on the pitch? Well, Saka's tired now, so that removes that as an option. So we may as well take Saka off. I guess we could push Remy forward. Oh, dear. This is boring from Posh. Really boring. I'm so disappointed in them that this is what they've resorted to. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That'll get them. They'll hate that. Right, we're going to bring Almada on from Martinez. And we are going to stick him up there. And it doesn't work. We can't do that. Because we don't... I need to make a 4th substitution. I need to go to a 3 at the back. Which means I have to take both those defenders off. It doesn't work. We just have to bring Williams on. Remy can go to left back. And Almada can sit in there as a playmaker. Come on, boys. Don't reward them for this anti-football that they're playing. It's horrible. And we're just having the Champions League hangover. Oh, set piece, luckily over. I don't think we're going to get anything out of either of these games today. This has been a very frustrating episode. Things were going so well, and then you lot turned up, and you've ruined it. This is just... I don't think I'll ever get over it. What has he done to my club? I'm tempted to go back and fix it. And I know there's going to be people out there who think about results rather than the game. Oh. If he's genuinely proud of what he's just done, then he sickens me. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.